Tinubu should take Elrufai'S advice, give marching order to carry out a war on terrorism, Dahiru. Newspaper columnist Majid Dahiru has advised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take the advice of the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir Ahmad El-Rufai, on how he handled terrorism in his state. According to Majid Dahiru, former governor El-Rufai, who initially chose to negotiate with the terrorists, later publicly admitted that his efforts to engage them in dialogue were pointless and suggested that the insurgents be taken and eliminated completely, as efforts to remove them only led to increased violence. Dahiru urged the president to heed this advice and issue a decisive command to wage a comprehensive war against terrorism in the nation. Speaking on the AIT News Network, Majid Dahiru said, Governor El-Rufai, for example, who initially decided to hobnob with these terrorists, had to come out and say it was a futile exercise. And I commend him for coming out to say he was an error of judgment, to think he can actually have a dialogue with terrorists, and that in molding them, they have gone on killing sprees, and they should be taken out completely. The president should take that advice and give out a marching order to carry out a total war on terrorism. You know what is funny and very interesting is everyone's just giving this man advice. This is not the first time we've heard anyone come out, not anyone, but those that are in the political space saying or advising whoever is in power at the time to carry out a total war on terrorism. This is the same conversation that has been had time and time and time again. So I really don't know, because it depends on what the president's focus is, because it definitely looks economical from what Tinubu is doing, but I it's funny because then you look at El-Rufai and I don't understand people, like, with what was going on in Kaduna at the time and the killings, the kidnappings, it was a lot. It was so intense and aggressive that it was laughable and even triggering to think that the governor's approach was to have a conversation, right? So you look at the first comment, which is very important, and this person says, did he declare war on terrorism in Kaduna for 8 years? He's looking for ministerial positions. He should look for the Minister of Terrorism, and he will go back and finish. Because I think even more than just these terrorists, since even Boko Haram and all, the country has never been firm, has never been proactive, has not been, intentional to actually curb, the effects of terrorism. How many times did the Nigerian army come out to say that, they had, conquered and, taken Shakal? How many times? But every single time, Shakal would just resurrect. Shakal would just, post a video and be like, hi guys, here I am, right? So it's like the government has never shown to be proactive, and what that then led to was allegations or even rumors and conspiracies that, wait, this government, with the amount of atrocities happening and killings, you would think that they would be on their toes to curb this, right? So then that led to people thinking, are these governments also part of this? Are they in a subtle way approving or even behind these attacks, right? Because these terrorists are just allowed to do their thing. And a pattern, and what I've noticed is with certain areas, if there's no community, if there are no people residing there, and it's just empty, then they are fine. But it's like they move from place to place, and when there's people there, it's bomb, this. So it's like, I personally think that there's something that they're doing that is making money for them, because they would just rather go about their businesses, because you'd find that for a period of time you would hear no killings, nothing, because they've taken over an area, it's place depopulated, there's nothing going on, and they're doing their thing, right? So when they're done, or when they move to another area and there's people, killings start again. But again, it becomes suspicious, because again, the fact that the country has never been intentional. So if you say, oh, we're going to declare war on terrorism, then that is a definite declaration, as in you are intentional, you are facing terrorism head on. The government has not done that. They haven't. It's not, they're scared. And then to think that we had a time where there were, repentant Boko Haram members who were then reintegrated into the Nigerian army and put in society because, they just needed education and they were poor and they were this. Okay, great. And then you then had, northern governors having conversations. What was his name? Is it Shehu? Adamu Shehu. Oh, I've forgotten his name. But Sheikh Gumi. Yes, Sheikh Gumi. Yeah, I can't forget him. This individual was the one going into forest and handing, stacks of cash, handing it to these terrorists, holding their guns like as if it's some university certificate and some, congratulatory message. So it's crazy. It actually makes you think, wait, so we already suspect the government might be involved in this. You have governors having conversations and dialogue with terrorists because, they're your friends. And you even had people going into the forest to where they were and handing them cash. And then you then think Nigerians are out of reality to not suspect that the government may be in some way a part of this. Put what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.